So one thing that's becoming very clear to me, and it's something that I had experienced a little bit in my career, but I didn't know that it was happening across the entire industry. But now that we have the data with TagMatch, we can confirm it. There are a small number of tracks that are doing the heavy lifting in our industry and getting the most amount of placements in our marketplace, in the TV marketplace. Yes, every single month we're definitely detecting new tracks, and so you guys will be, as you're on the app, you'll see new tracks pop up and maybe new matches, and new songs, and new, sort of sources of inspiration to find out where you want to maybe go. But what you also might notice is that there's going to be a lot of familiar tracks popping up month after month after month after month. And that is because, A, the music is great, of course. Obviously, it got placed because it sort of met the demand of some music editor or supervisor. But most importantly, I guess there would be two reasons primarily, maybe even three. Great music. Number two is that usually these are tracks that are getting re-aired over and over and over again because they went into something that's sort of in syndication. It's just being pumped on, on a variety, either multiple channels or on one channel, but it's just airing over and over again, like a promo, commercial, that kind of a thing. So you're just going to see something kind of coming up quite a bit. But number three, and I think this is the secret of our business, and I think it's one of the reasons why my placements are nearing 10,000 now, and I think one of the reasons why you see some producers just do great in this industry and others struggle is editors and supervisors, primarily I guess music editors and video editors, that are a lot of times responsible for placing music and selecting it from some catalog they're working with, are lazy. And I don't mean that they don't do their job well and they don't want to work hard. No, they work hard. But what I mean by lazy is that they don't want to have to research and find new music every time they have a new episode of the show that they're working on. Why would they ever do that? If they've got a short list of 20, 50, 100 tracks they've already used before, they know, they're very familiar with what they sound like. They're very familiar with their mood and with their emotion and what they can provide and bring to a scene. And trust me, these editors sitting in their edit bays all day long are listening to this music a lot. And so they're actually sometimes even more familiar with these tracks than even we or library owners are, because their whole job is spending time listening to music and trying to match it to the scene that they're currently editing, right? So a lot of times, it's happened in my career, you'll see one track just blow up and just take over your royalty statement and just get placed all over the place over and over again in multiple shows, on multiple channels, like all over the place. And a lot of times that comes down to the fact that playlists are shared, right? Editors can share playlists with each other usually. And if there is a sort of proven playlist of tracks that works well for a particular reality show or a sports program or something like that, you better believe that stuff gets shared around because it saves time. And that's what I meant by lazy. Not derogatory against them. We're all lazy. We all want to get more for putting in less effort. That's just the human condition. So that's what I mean. And so if you can spend time in this app listening to these winning tracks, okay, the tracks that are spending a lot of time at the top of the charts, that are showing up consistently every single month, either both in terms of how many times they were placed, that's the first thing you'll see here on this page, or how long they were placed, right? The length of time that they were airing on TV. Spending a lot of time listening to these tracks, what you're going to do is sort of wrap your head around the winners, all right? I mean, you don't want to call them winners or losers, but these are the winning tracks, right? The tracks that you guys are getting access to and listening to through this app, through the 20 channels that we're currently monitoring, are the best of the biz, right? They are the ones essentially, at least from the data we're pulling, are pulling the most amount of weight. Basically, one track composed, resulting in this case, 184 different placements, okay? You want to be making one track that gets 184 placements in a month, right? Or more. That we have, as we're doubling the data now, we're actually going to start seeing tracks that have much more than 184 placements. And so what I would just strongly encourage all of you guys to do is, if you don't want to waste time, if you don't want to have this kind of like, well, I'll just put out a couple of tracks, we'll see what happens, and I'll kind of weigh and see which library I'm working with gets me the best results. That was the best we could do up until this app. That was the best, essentially. But a much smarter approach would be to spend time listening, diving in, and understanding which tracks, particularly in your genre that you are producing. Obviously, you can click on here in genre. and find the genre that's basically the right one for you. For those that are metalheads, go find out which metal tracks are placing the most. That would be the best place to find inspiration. That'd be the best place to find your reference tracks. And obviously, it'd be the best place to get some visibility as to what really works in your style of music. I don't want to hear, and I definitely get these emails from time to time, and hopefully I don't get them too often in the future, but it bums me out to hear those producers that have been spending years in this business working hard, not a lack of work ethic, working extremely hard, producing a lot of music, and sending it out and getting it accepted by libraries, and libraries giving them 2 thumbs up and saying, we love it, that's great, give us more. Only to find out years later, nothing's getting placed or very little is getting placed, and they're confused, they're angry, they're resentful, they're bitter. And I just always feel really, really bad for that kind of situation, because I kind of kick myself for the fact that I didn't think about creating an app like this years ago, because I think this kind of insight, this kind of data can prevent that situation from happening, because you can at least know, of course, we can't guarantee you placements with this app. That's not part of what we're giving you with this, okay? But what you can at least guarantee is that you can know and hear for yourself what's working in your genre for particular libraries, for TV shows, and for channels, so that you can at least tell yourself and know you're not ignorant of it, right? You're not unaware of what's happening in our industry, particularly with how it relates to you and your music. And you should be using it if you're not already doing it. You should be uploading tracks to the TagMatch feature so that basically all this research is done for you. It's basically brought to you here, right on your tab here. You just scroll down, you can see your results, great? It takes 5 minutes, and you upload your MP3 and you get your results here, okay? But you can at least now know with certainty, with confidence, based on the sampling data that we're providing for you, if you've got a shot, if you're making music that's fitting in with the current demands. And if the answer to that second question is, well, not quite, music is sounding fairly different from what you're doing, you at least now know you won't be going into this blind, right? And you won't be just hoping and wishing and crossing your fingers that maybe somebody just finds your really unique approach to production music really licensable and they throw it into their TV show. Could happen, sometimes happens for sure, and I wish it does happen for everybody. But on the realistic side of things, we're in a service industry here, guys. We got to make sure that we're making music that clients actually want. And what better way to find out what that is? We can't read minds, but we can look at data. We can look at the recent data that was just posted and just released on this app so that you know what's happening. So once again, open invitation. Data sitting right here. Your results are 5 minutes away. If you want to take advantage of this, there's a link in the description box and the top pinned comment if you'd like to join us. We welcome you. I think you will feel the excitement and the promise of what this data and what this app can do for you and your sync career very, very shortly. So go ahead and click on that link below if you'd like to learn more about our membership options.